How do you recognize a charming, smooth talker when you encounter him or her? Hello, 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 and welcome to More Than Money, a podcast where we have nuanced conversations about money, business, and life, where we take the time to explore the human side of money because success with money is never just about the numbers. I'm your host, Jacquette Timmons, and I am really, really glad that you are here with me today. So, whether this is your very first episode or one of many, welcome. And before we dive into today's episode, I want to invite you to consider how I can help you make this quarter one of your most successful, profitable, and not broke quarters. And when I say not broke, I mean not broke, of course, financially, but also not broke creatively or energetically. Like, think about what would it feel like to have a financial breakthrough, particularly one that you didn't even know that you needed? A breakthrough that will enable you to gain greater control over your finances. What would it feel like to identify patterns of behavior so that as you are identifying those blind spots, you can see where you might be getting in your own way? And when you are able to do that, you are then able to ensure that you are actually making the best choices possible given where you are, what you want, and your current circumstances. Or what would it feel like to, well, feel confident about how you are managing that thing that impacts almost every aspect of your life and your business? And by having that increased confidence, you are then able to make smarter and more strategic choices and trade offs around those choices that are designed to serve you not just today, but also in the future. Look, I would love, 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 love to help you create those feelings and get those results. And I'm here to invite you to consider working with me because I have 3 6-month coaching engagement spots available that can start this month. So send me a DM on Instagram with the word coaching. And what we will do is send you a link to schedule a complimentary discovery call. And then we'll take it from there. In the meantime, though, let's get into today's show. Have you ever found yourself completely captivated by someone that you've just met? Maybe you met them at a party or at a dinner or at a casual or work related gathering. And perhaps what first captures your attention is their appearance. Even if they are not attractive in the classical sense, you find something about them alluring. You find, how they take up space appealing, maybe even to the point where you wish you had that same effect on people when you walked into a room. And then you hear them speak and their words flow effortlessly. And before you know it, their charm has pulled you in. And they speak with such confidence and ease that in a span of what seems like a few minutes, they somehow now have everyone around them in the proverbial palm of their hand, including you, which kind of catches you off guard because you consider yourself a little bit of a skeptic and the one that, kind of holds people off a little bit. But there's no denying that you are impressed. Honestly, I think this is natural. After all, we are drawn to people with confidence and high social fluency. We are drawn to people who quickly and easily make an emotional connection with others. And we are drawn to people who exude optimism and positivity. In fact, right now, I bet that you are recalling the last time you encountered a person like what I've just described. But here's the catch though. I could just as easily be describing a person of substance with good intentions as much as I could be describing what I would describe a smooth talker with questionable intent. The tricky part, though, is that smooth talkers don't reveal themselves right away. At first glance, they blend in seamlessly with the genuine people of substance. They use the same charisma, the same charm, the same warmth, and the same confidence in order to gain your trust. And you may even find yourself feeling an immediate connection, reassured by their presence and their ease. It's only after time passes, when the layers are pulled back and the results, or more precisely, the lack of results, come into focus, that you then start to realize the difference between the person that was genuine and the person that was not. And you realize that for the latter, their words may have been polished, but the substance was missing all along. So initially, you didn't notice their lack of depth because they are crafty. They're crafty at using their surface knowledge to mask the gaps in their expertise. Or maybe, and actually, I think this is even more dangerous, they actually do have the expertise, but they lack character. You didn't notice the extent to which they overpromised. And that's because the promises that they are making or that they made are just purely unrealistic. But again, you didn't notice that. You didn't notice their lack of accountability because they have a habit of sidestepping responsibility for when, things go wrong, particularly when you or someone else is the one that suffers the consequences and not them. You didn't notice that their focus is only on short-term solutions because, in all reality, a quick fix is what really is the thing that you wanted to hear about. So they've tapped into that emotional need of yours and bypassed sharing with you options that require the need to perhaps make a short term sacrifice in service to a better but longer term solution. You didn't notice these things because they didn't want you to notice them. Smooth talkers are not dumb, not by a long shot. In fact, they are quite smart. They are smart, at least in terms of understanding how to manipulate and win people over without substance. Your challenge lies in recognizing that charming, smooth talker when, you encounter him or her. And you also have this challenge. You have the challenge of being able to identify how, what, and who you are impressed by influences the decisions and the choices that you make. I have been thinking a lot about the optics and the dangers of smooth talkers and their power lately. So cue a little bit of sarcasm just in case you don't get it in the tone of my voice. Thank you, 2024 election season. And if you are a New Yorker like myself, I live in Brooklyn. Thank you to New York City's political drama. But you know what? It's not like I have not met a smooth talker or two before this political season or New York's current political drama. I've been working in financial services for nearly 4 decades and coaching for 2 of them. Plus, I'm in my late 50s. Thankfully, I don't know what late 50s is supposed to look like, but I feel like I look a little bit younger than that. But anyway, I digress. My point being, I have definitely encountered my fair share of smooth talkers, be it professionally or personally. Lately, though, they are really, really pissing me off. I don't like to see people being taken advantage of in general. And I really don't like it when I feel people are tapping into folks' psychological and emotional triggers with the intent of causing them to make decisions and choices that might not be in their best interests. I don't like it when it comes to politics, and I definitely don't like it when it comes to the world of financial and business coaching. And here's why. Real progress toward being financially successful and having a business that is both successful and centers the health of your personal finances, it is not an easy undertaking. And so when you seek out someone to be on your team to help you, you don't need someone who is going to gloss over the complexities of managing the intersection of money, business, and life. Instead, you need someone who will help you to navigate those complexities. You need someone who will help you keep your vision in sight while being mindful of the realities of the time and the effort and the patience that is required to address your current circumstances and the context thereof. You need someone who is unafraid to instigate tough and uncomfortable conversations, someone who won't shy away from holding you accountable to the goals that you've set for yourself, not that they set for you, but the goals that you have set for yourself, because they are committed to your success, not just your approval. You need someone who doesn't lean on generic financial and business advice. You need someone who respects your intellect, your experience, your expertise, as well as the uniqueness of your goals and your motivations. So, in other words, you need someone who recognizes what makes you unique. So, wink, wink. Yes, I have just described my approach to working with clients, whether it is in my coaching practice or during a speaking engagement. Because whether I have your attention for a few hours, a few months, a few years, or even in the case of this podcast, a few minutes, I always endeavor to offer substance, to come clean here and honest and direct, and to provide lasting results or give you a framework to have lasting results so that you can be successful, profitable, and not broke on your terms. Ultimately, my aim is always for my work with someone to last beyond the scope of our engagement or the time that I am in your ear or on your screen. And this, my friends, is not a name smooth talkers can claim, particularly given how they tend to make everything sound easy and conveniently dismiss the hard truths. Plus, they are more interested in highlighting quick fixes since those happen to be more in alignment with generic advice. Look, there is absolutely nothing wrong with feeling entertained, impressed, and strangely reassured by who someone is and what it is that they say. And let's face it, I hope that I entertain you. I hope that I impress you. I hope that I reassure you. But please do me a favor and make certain that your trust and perhaps the health of your finances and your business don't get taken advantage of. Be discerning, or even more so, and have a litmus test for evaluating substance over style, clarity over vagueness, logic over just appealing to your emotions, and prioritizing your long term over winning you over just in the moment. And also do a gut check. Oh, your gut never steers you wrong. This is how you will be prepared for your next encounter with a smooth talker with questionable intentions that may not serve you. Well, that is a wrap for today, folks. As always, thank you for listening and maybe even watching if you are joining us on YouTube. If you have liked what you heard and would like to show appreciation for this podcast or perhaps this particular episode, please do me a favor and share it with those in your circle. Because when you do so, you allow us to reach more people than we could on our own. And if you happen to be listening on Apple Podcasts, which is where I listen to all of my podcasts, please take a moment and hit the stars. And you know what? Go on ahead and hit that 5-star rating and also leave a written review. We do read them, but I'm asking you to do this because a combination of the rating and the reviews helps us with the algorithm, and it just helps us to be found when people are searching for podcasts related to money, business, and life. And of course, if you are watching on YouTube, please comment below. And again, thank you for doing that. We're gaining more traction over there as well. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee, here's how you can do that. buymeacoffee.com/Jaquette. buymeacoffee.com/Jaquette. Thanks again for listening or watching, as the case may be. I will be back with another episode, and I hope that you will too. Until then, remember, it's about more than money.